Good morning and welcome to another pre-market review session with the Market Trader. My name is Ray, the Market Trader, and today, before we get started, we'll take a look at our risk disclosure here, guys, and see what before we take a look at the markets. So we'll go ahead and open up our risk disclosure. Okay. Just want to remind everyone that the content that's being published and distributed by the Market Trader and its affiliates is to be treated as general information only. None of the information provided by the company or contained herein is intended as investment advice. An offer to buy, sell, recommend, endorse, sponsor any security, company, or fund. We all understand the use of this information contained herein is to be used at your own risk, and the company, its partners, representatives, agents, employees, and contractors assume no responsibility or liability for any use or misuse of such information. Future trading does carry a fair amount of risk. It's not for every investor. Investor could potentially lose all or more of their investment capital. Only risk capital money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle should be used for trading, and only those individuals with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Again, nothing contained herein is a solicitation or an offer to buy, sell futures, options, or Forex, and past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, good morning. So we'll go ahead now and turn our attention over to the financial news. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. Double confirm. Looks like that's coming up okay. All right, so really not anything in the way of any sort of significant news here. It looks like we have a deadline for the U.S.-China tariff deadline today, scheduled, I guess, at 9 p.m. Actually, more like midnight today, I guess. But we have, obviously, as the week progresses, some news that should impact the markets. Tuesday, we have CPI, we have core CPI coming in, and then we have some Fed members speaking. The good thing is that we're past the earnings season, so there's no more earnings. That has now passed. Wednesday, we have our EIA crude oil. Thursday, we have our normal PPI, core PPI, and jobless claims. And then we close out the week with more retail sales, manufacturing reports, and some inflationary information. So as the week progresses, we'll get more and more in the way of news that could potentially impact the markets. All right, so now that we've gotten through the news here, guys, we'll go ahead and turn our attention over to the portal here, and we'll take a look at the charts here. Okay, let's see if we can locate that. There it is. Here's the charts. Okay, so taking a look at the daily, looks like we are creating some sort of island top here, at least 3/4 of it. You see this indecisive candle here that we have up on the upper end of the chart here on the daily chart. Very indecisive candle here, and we opened the day here with somewhat of a gap to the downside. Okay, so you can if you look at this 3-bar pattern here. Okay, so 3-bar pattern it appears to be somewhat of a what appears to me is kind of an island top. Okay, so kind of a very strong reversal pattern that's being established as we speak here on the daily chart. Moving down to the 4-hour chart. Okay, you can see that we're going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here for a moment. Here, if I can locate it, initial balance. Let's turn that off here for a moment. Okay, so you can see that we've had our series of bearish candles since the close of Friday here. Okay, and we've had a series of bearish candles since. Okay, so you can see that price is below our 9 EMA, and it's also below our VWAP. Okay, so giving us indication that maybe we are changing character a bit on the gold from a market that's been bullish to a market that may be starting to begin to look a bit on the bearish side. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute chart here. and kind of stretch this out here. Okay. And then we're going to do a little bit of a volume analysis here, but you can see right away that price is below our VWAP and below our 9 EMA, giving us some indication here that we are in some sort of bearish structure here. We're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile here, and we're going to take a look at Friday's price action here. Let's see here, Monday. This is Monday. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go back here a little bit. So this is Sunday. This is Friday. Okay, we'll get back a little further. Friday, right about there. We'll drag that across to the close of Friday, which is right about here. Okay, so you can see that price is well below value here. Okay, so this is our value low. You can see that price is well below value. So we got 3 indications, okay, that there is a fair amount of interest in taking this market lower. Okay, so we're below value. We see that price is below our VWAP and it's below our 9 EMA, all giving us some indication of lower prices here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open up initial balance here now. Let's see if I can locate that here on the left-hand side. This is the initial balance range. Yep, there it is. Okay, so we're opening up a relatively tight initial balance range. We're going to go ahead and take a look at what the initial balance range was for London here, just to see what direction London was able to take this market. And you can see that we've broken the initial balance range to the downside. So again, indications are that we remain, I guess, headed into the session here, looking a bit on the bearish side, I would say. Okay, so as long as we remain below 3411.8, I would say that there's a fair amount of opportunity here to the downside. I would say that we are a bit extended, okay, a bit extended to the downside. So a move back, say, to something like a VWAP at maybe the high of the value area high would be another location where we can maybe look for an opportunity again to the bearish side. Okay. So that's kind of what I have for the gold market. Gold market, I guess, headed into the session is looking a little bit bearish to me. And I think we need to locate and find price reference levels that align with that general direction. Let's take a peek here. Good morning. Do you guys not see my screen? Let's try this again. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go ahead now and take a look at the, let's see, we're going to move over to the crude oil market and take a look at the crude oil market. Okay, looking at the crude oil market, we're going to go ahead, similar to the gold here, we'll start off with a daily chart here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and remove some of our drawings here. We can. Okay, so looking at this, I'm going to go ahead and turn on, just make this available here. Okay, so you can see that we've been in some sort of bearish structure. We are developing a bullish engulfing candle here, but it's still very much at the start of the day. Now you can see here on the left-hand side that we are coming off a little bit of a demand zone here, right? Okay, so this area right here is indeed an area of demand, and you can see that price is reacting away from it, right? We are developing a little bit of a bullish candle, and otherwise, I don't know if we, again, just looking at these series of candles here, you can see that we've been in some sort of bearish structure, right? You see that price is below our 9 EMA, but we are developing a little bit in the way of a bullish engulfing candle at the moment. The day is still quite young, so we don't know exactly how this candle is going to close the day, but we do see that we are developing somewhat of a bullish candle here at an area of demand. Okay, let's go ahead now and take a look at the 4-hour chart. Okay, looking at the 4-hour chart, just get a little bit more We're going to go ahead and turn off initial balance here for a moment. Don't need that at the moment. Just going to turn this off here. Okay. And you can see, right? You can see kind of that we are maybe developing a little bit in the way of maybe a little bit of a double bottom here, right? You can see that we have this area right here that may be representing some sort of bottom. And then we have another, double bottom, maybe the beginnings of some sort of W pattern. Now, in order for us to really sustain this move to the upside, we need to start breaking some structure, okay, to the upside. And I would say that the first order of business here is that we need to get above 64.45. If we get above 64.45, you can see that maybe that will be the beginnings of breaking some of this structure, bearish structure that we've seen in the past in the crude oil market, and that could offer us maybe an opportunity for an impulsive move to the upside. We do see that price is above our 9 EMA and appears to also be above our VWAP. Okay, so that's also some indication of some bullish price action. Let's go ahead and move down to the 30-minute chart. Okay, looking at the 30-minute chart here, we're going to stretch this out, maybe put this at the center here a little bit better. Okay, so on the 30-minute chart, again, you can see that price is above, right? This is above our VWAP. Okay, right here, it's above our VWAP, above our 9 EMA. Yet we are developing a little bit in the way of a bearish candle here, okay, up at the highs. So the 30-minute chart looks a bit more rangy of late, okay. This is giving us more of an indication that we are in some sort of range, up here around 64.50 being the high of the range, and then maybe down here around 63 being the low end of the range. So let's go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile for Friday here. So there it is. We'll drag this across. And you can see that price is inside value. Okay, so indicating that we are indeed in some sort of range kind of price action in some sort of balance area. So again, giving us an indication that we are not really in any sort of significant trend in any one direction, that we are quite satisfied in being in some sort of consolidation range. Okay, so I would say headed into, let's see, we are above. So yeah, there are some indications here, right? We're above settlement, we're above the 9 EMA, we're above the VWAP, all giving us indication of bullish price action. But the fact that we are inside this value area is leading me to believe that maybe we are going to be in some sort of range kind of price as we head into the New York session. Don't have the initial balance just open yet. Another 10 minutes for that to take place. So we'll have to wait and see. I would say that we need maybe a little bit more data to decide exactly if there is going to be a direction. I would say that if there is a direction, it's going to be has the potential of maybe being somewhat bullish, right? We have indications that maybe price is going to remain above our 9 EMA, is going to remain above our settlement and above our VWAP. The only thing that maybe caution here would be, can we get above 64.50? If we cannot get above 64.50, we could quite possibly continue to remain in this range. Okay, so I'm going to take a peek here and see if there's any. Okay, so Carrie, we'll come back. We'll come back to the gold market here in a bit, but hopefully, you managed to capture all of the discussion on the crude oil. Correct? Can I get a 1 if that's the case? You did manage to get all of that discussion. Okay. All right. So you managed to get all of the crude oil. We'll come back to the gold market. I would say that the gold market right now, I would say, is probably looking a bit on the bearish side, but we'll come back to it after we review the equities here. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and continue our discussion here with the equity markets. Okay. So looking at the NASDAQ here, we're going to go ahead and start off with the daily chart. Daily chart was giving us every indication early on Sunday that maybe was going to continue higher as the day progressed, or as the sessions progressed. Across the sessions, Asia and London, we're starting to see maybe some more participation here to the sell side in a market that's up at the highs of the up at the highs. Okay, so just looking at these set of candles, you can see that we are in some sort of bullish structure. Okay, you can see that we are developing a little bit of a wick, a buying wick up at the lower end of the candle here, up at the somewhat the highs here. Okay, let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. See what the 4-hour chart has to say here. So you can see that price is above this value range that I had drawn here. Okay, so giving us some indication here, this value range was for the week. Okay, this past week, this value range, you can see that price is above it. So again, giving us some indication that we are in some sort of bullish structure to the upside. Now we are coming up on some areas that could be resistant here around 23,800. Okay, these areas could potentially be a resistant area to this current move, but you do see that of late we've been in some sort of bullish structure. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute chart here. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we'll do a little bit of volume analysis here just to get a sense of what price is doing at these levels. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open up our fixed range volume profile for the start of Friday here, and then drag that across to the close of Friday. And you can see that we're kind of flirting with the value area high here on the right. So I'm going to go ahead and extend the line here. Okay, so you can see that we're right at the value area line here. Okay, we're actually kind of creeping inside of it. This is VWAP from London from a prior day, probably most likely Thursday. So you can see that we're above that. We are below our 9 EMA as well as our VWAP. This is a VWAP from, as I mentioned, from London from a prior day here. Okay, so if we are able to manage to hold above, then that would speak quite favorably to the bulls. If price closes back inside, then certainly this level, this point of control here that we have in red here around 23,000, is that 690? Okay, seems like a logical destination for this current move. Okay, if we do manage to close back inside this area. If that's the case, then we come back to the 23,690. This area should offer us a little bit in the way of a bounce. I would expect. We've already had one bounce. We may maybe get a much smaller bounce, but right now price is hovering around settlement. It's below our 9 EMA and our VWAP. Okay, so giving us I guess a little bit of mixed signals here. I would say that looking at these candles here, I do sense maybe a little bit of price kind of weighing down. Maybe causing the possibility of further price move to the downside. I'm going to go ahead and let's see. This is Friday. We've already done that. Okay, so we're above that right now. So yeah, I would say that if we are going to return bullish, okay, we need to begin to start to create some structure here for that to happen. Right now, it appears that the market is looking, at least on the shorter time frame, a bit on the bearish side. Okay, so we have some resistance levels here up at the highs. And we had a swing to the downside. I guess this was during London, okay, and then we've rallied to a bit, okay, and now we are in, but have not been able to close above this 23,000 760 level, okay. So based on this kind of price action, it feels like the market wants to continue to the downside. Okay, at least I would say that we have, if price manages to close below settlement and inside value, I would say that we have obviously a reasonable chance to get to point of control and an outside chance of rotating all the way down to the other side of value here at 26 or 23,649. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing now in the Nasdaq. Okay, so I guess based on the price action I'm seeing right now, based on London, based on Asia here, I'm not seeing a whole lot in the way of bullish price action. So I would say that there's a good, I would say, heading into the market, I'm a bit bearish on the Nasdaq. Okay. Let's take a peek here and see if there's any questions. Okay, so everybody seems to be able to see my charts here, which is excellent. We'll go ahead now and move on to taking a look at the ES here, and then we'll come back and take another peek at the gold market, since some of you were not able to see the charts at that time. So let's go ahead and start off with the daily. Okay, so you can see similar kind of price action we saw with the Nasdaq, right? We started the day higher. Okay, now we're developing a little bit in the way of a bearish candle here. So I would say that we have some overnight shorts, I would say, in the market at the moment. We are close to the highs of of the uh, the market here. Okay, at say 64.60. Okay, 64.50. Okay, are basically, this is kind of a natural resistance area that I'm going to go ahead and mark. Okay, right here. Okay, so this area right here does appear to be an area of resistance. So go ahead and mark that in red. So I would expect that price will continue to maybe behave the way it's been behaving every time it's come to this level until it's broken. Okay, so let's go ahead now and take a look at the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we can see that while we have made some higher highs and higher lows here, right, we are above value from this past week. This is kind of a weekly volume profile. I like looking at this as I head into the week, just to get a sense of whether we're inside balance or whether we're above balance. In this case, we're above balance, indicating that there's maybe a fair amount of momentum, at least on this chart, maybe some further price action to the upside here. Okay. So again, we're above the 9. We're above the 9 EMA. That's given us some indication of some maybe additional bullish action here. All right. So let's take a look at the 30 minutes here. Looking at the 30-minute chart, we're going to go ahead and do a much smaller volume profile here for the start of Friday here. And we'll take that across here to the close of Friday here. Okay, so you can see that price remains above value. Okay, similar area that we saw, but I would say that maybe a little bit stronger than what we saw in the Nasdaq. Okay, you can see that we are above value. Right? We are above value. So as long as we remain above value, we are in some sort of range, right? We had some sort of range kind of price action go on and overnight. We are above value from Friday, right? Friday's range. So that gives us maybe an indication that maybe price will continue to the upside. If price manages to close inside value, then I would say that there's obviously a possibility of price rotating through the range of value before we make any sort of directional move. Okay. Let's see, peek here. Okay, so we'll go ahead now and take a look at the Dow here. Okay, so wrap up here. We'll wrap up with the Dow, and then we'll take a peek at the gold, see where the gold is at. Okay, so again, looking at the Dow, looking at the daily. Let's go ahead and remove some of our drawings here. Okay, so looking at the daily, you can see that we're on the lower end. This to me looks the most bearish of the 3 equity markets, right? We have a very strong, I would say a relatively strong swing to the downside. This move up here feels more like a retracement, and you can see that price is hovering right around the 9 EMA. So on the daily chart, I would say that we're looking a bit bearish on the Dow here, okay? Looking at the 4-hour, again, you can see that we had this swing to the downside. This move here seems to be either some sort of consolidation range in an otherwise bearish structure, okay, on the 4-hour chart. Looking at the 30-minute chart, the 30-minute chart. We're going to go ahead and open this up here a little bit here. Okay, so you can see that, well, let's see, we're going to go ahead and open the fixed range volume profile here. Okay, so you can see that similar to the other equity markets, we're hovering around the edge of value here. Okay, so again, if we manage to hold above value, then that offers us an opportunity maybe for a reversal off of value area high. If we do manage to close back inside it, there's obviously the possibility of a price rotating through value. We are seeing that price is below our 9 EMA and below our VWAP, again, giving us some indication that maybe there is maybe a bearish move underway in this market. Okay, so yeah, I would say that the Dow looks probably the most bearish, but it still remains above value here. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a peek here at the gold market. I know that some of you missed it, so we'll at the gold. Again, the daily we were seeing a little bit in the way of we're seeing a little bit in the way of a kind of a 3-bar reversal pattern, okay, in this market, right? You can see that we kind of looking like a little bit of an island top, right? You got this doji pattern. We had a bullish candle leading up to it with a, so this is kind of a classic reversal pattern in this market, okay? So taking a look at quickly at the 4-hour chart here. For our chart, again, we have a fair number of bears in this market. Price is below our 9 EMA. Okay. Looking at the 30-minute chart, okay, that's not telling us anything different, right? We're below our 9 EMA. We're below our VWAP. Right now, I would say that headed into the session, headed into the New York session, that we're looking a bit on the bearish side. Okay. So that's kind of what I have for you guys. You're welcome. CL also, okay. Excellent, guys. So kind of makeshift kind of operation here today since I'm away from my normal environment. Hopefully that came across okay and you were able to get something out of this. So if you would be so kind and hit the like, subscribe if you're not a subscribe, smash the bell to be alerted of these kinds of sessions in the future. And just like we close all sessions, trade well, trade safe, trade like a pro, be a market trader. All right, guys, have an excellent day trading, and we'll talk again soon.